Clark finds girl in subway station bathroom with newborn baby. Then he realizes the chilling horror truth. The subway station was quiet that night, the kind of quiet that made every sound echo. John, a 42-year-old station clerk, was wiping down the counter at the ticket booth. It was close to midnight, and the last train had just left. His shift was almost over, but something felt off. He couldn't shake the feeling that he'd heard a faint cry earlier, coming from the women's bathroom down the hall. John grabbed his flashlight and headed toward the bathroom. The station was old, the tiles cracked, and the lights flickered. As he got closer, he heard it again, a soft, desperate whimper. His stomach twisted. Pushed open the door, calling out, "Hello? Anyone in here?" No answer. Just another cry, louder this time, like a baby. John's heart raced. He stepped inside, his boots squeaking on the wet floor. The air smelled sharp, like blood and sweat. In the corner, slumped against the wall near the last stall, was a girl. She couldn't have been older than 16, her face pale, her clothes soaked with sweat and something darker. In her arms, wrapped in a torn jacket, was a tiny, wriggling newborn, its cries weak but piercing. "Hey!" John rushed over, kneeling beside her. "Are you okay? What's going on?" The girl's eyes were wide, terrified, darting around like she expected someone to burst in. Don't tell anyone," she whispered, clutching the baby tighter. "Please. They'll take her." "Who's gonna take her?" John asked, his voice sharp but low. "You're hurt. You need help. Let me call someone." "No," she snapped, her voice cracking. "You don't get it. They're looking for me. If they find me, they'll kill us both." John froze. Her words hit like a punch. "Who's they? What are you talking about?" The girl shook her head, tears streaming down her face. I can't say. Just, help me get out of here. Please." John's mind raced. He'd seen plenty in his years working the subway, drunks, fights, even overdoses, but this was different. The girl's fear was raw, real. And the baby, it looked so small, barely alive. He couldn't just walk away. "All right," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "What's your name?" She hesitated, then muttered, "Lila." "Okay, Lila. I'm John. We're gonna figure this out. But you're bleeding, and that baby needs a doctor. You can't stay here." Lila's eyes flashed with panic. "No doctors. They'll find me. You don't know what they're capable of." "Then tell me." John said, his voice rising. "I'm trying to help you, but you gotta give me something. Who's after you? Why are you hiding in a damn bathroom with a newborn?" Lila's lip trembled. She looked down at the baby, who was starting to quiet, its tiny chest heaving. It's my stepdad," she said finally, her voice barely audible. He did this." John's stomach dropped. "Did what? You mean, the baby?" She nodded, tears spilling over. He wouldn't leave me alone. 4 years. When I got pregnant, he said I had to get rid of it. Said if anyone found out, he'd kill me. I ran away 3 months ago, but he's got people looking for me. Cops, too. He knows everyone." John's hands clenched into fists. He'd heard stories like this before, but hearing it from a kid, holding a baby she shouldn't have had to carry, made his blood boil. "That bastard," he spat. "He's not gonna touch you. Not while I'm here." Lila shook her head. "You don't know him. He's got money, power. He'll find me. He always does." "Not tonight," John said firmly. "We're getting you out of here. Can you walk?" Lila tried to move, but she winced, her face twisting in pain. I don't know. It hurts so bad." John cursed under his breath. She'd given birth alone, probably right here on the filthy bathroom floor. "All right, stay put. I'm calling a friend. He's a nurse, off the books. No hospitals, no cops. You trust me?" Lila stared at him, her eyes searching his face. Finally, she nodded. Okay. John pulled out his phone and dialed Maria, a nurse he'd known for years. She'd helped him out of a few jams before, no questions asked. Maria, it's John. I need you at the subway station. Now. Got a girl here, just gave birth. She's in bad shape, and it's complicated. Can you come? Maria's voice was sharp, no nonsense. How bad is she? And the baby? Bleeding, weak. Baby's alive but small. Looks like it was just born. I can't take her to a hospital. She's scared, says someone's after her. Maria didn't hesitate. I'm on my way. Keep her stable. Don't let her move too much. John hung up and turned back to Lila. Help's coming. Just hold on. Lila's eyes were heavy, her breathing shallow. Thank you, she whispered. I didn't think anyone would care. John's throat tightened. I care. You're not alone anymore. For the next 20 minutes, John stayed by her side, talking to keep her awake. He asked about the baby, trying to keep things light. You got a name for her yet? Lila managed a small smile. I was thinking. Emma. After my mom. She died when I was little. Emma's a good name, John said. Strong. Like you. Lila's smile faded. I'm not strong. I'm scared all the time. You're stronger than you know, John said. You kept her safe. You got this far. Before Lila could respond, the bathroom door swung open. John spun around, expecting Maria, but instead, a man stood there. He was tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a dark coat and a cold, calculating stare. John's gut screamed danger. Who the hell are you? John demanded, stepping in front of Lila. The man's eyes flicked to Lila, then back to John. I'm here for her, he said, his voice smooth but icy. Step aside. Lila gasped, shrinking back. No, it's him. It's Rick. John's heart pounded. This was her stepdad. The monster she'd been running from. You're not taking her anywhere, John growled. Get out before I make you. Rick's lips curled into a smirk. You're out of your depth, Clerk. You don't know who I am. Walk away, and you might live. Fuck you, John spat. You think you can just waltz in here and take them? Over my dead body. Rick's smirk vanished. He reached into his coat, pulling out a gun. That can be arranged. Lila screamed, clutching Emma tighter. John's mind raced. He wasn't armed, but he wasn't backing down. You pull that trigger, and this place will be crawling with cops, he said, trying to buy time. You really want to risk that? Rick's eyes narrowed. You're assuming I care about cops. I own them. Now move. John's hands were shaking, but he stood his ground. You're not touching her. You're done hurting her. For a moment, the two men stared each other down, the air thick with tension. Then, footsteps echoed from the hall. Maria burst in, her medical bag slung over her shoulder. She froze when she saw the gun. What the hell's going on? Rick turned, startled, and John saw his chance. He lunged, grabbing Rick's wrist and slamming it against the wall. The gun clattered to the floor. Rick roared, swinging a fist, but John ducked and tackled him, both men crashing into the stalls. John! Maria yelled, rushing to Lila. Keep him down. John wrestled with Rick, his adrenaline pumping. Rick was strong, but John was fighting for something bigger. He landed a solid punch to Rick's jaw, dazing him. You piece of shit, John snarled. You're never touching her again. Maria was already at Lila's side, checking her pulse, examining the baby. She's losing blood, Maria said urgently. We need to move her now. John pinned Rick to the ground, his knee on the man's chest. Call the cops, he told Maria. This bastard's not walking away. No. Lila cried. He's right. The cops won't help. He's got people everywhere. Maria looked torn but nodded. All right, no cops. But we need to get her to my clinic. I can stabilize her there. John glared down at Rick, who was struggling to breathe under his weight. What do we do with him? Maria's eyes hardened. Tie him up. There's rope in my bag. We'll deal with him after. John grabbed the rope and bound Rick's hands and feet, making sure the knots were tight. Rick cursed, spitting threats, but John ignored him. You're done, he said. You hear me? Done. Maria helped Lila to her feet, supporting her weight. Can you walk, sweetheart? She asked. Lila nodded weakly, cradling Emma. I think so. John scooped up the gun and tucked it into his waistband, just in case. He glanced at Rick, who was glaring at him with pure hatred. You're gonna regret this, Rick hissed. You have no idea who you're messing with. Shut up, John snapped. You're the one who's gonna regret it. They moved quickly, Maria leading Lila out of the bathroom while John kept an eye on Rick. The station was still empty, the silence eerie. They made it to Maria's van, parked just outside. Maria helped Lila and Emma into the back, setting up a makeshift bed. She's stable for now, Maria said, but she needs fluids and stitches. The baby's dehydrated but alive. John climbed into the passenger seat, his hands still shaking from the fight. What about him? He asked, jerking his head toward the station. Maria's face was grim. We leave him. Someone'll find him eventually. Right now, Lila and Emma are the priority. John nodded, but his mind was racing. He knew Rick wasn't just going to disappear. A man like that, with money and connections, would come after them. But for now, Lila was safe. Emma was safe. That was what mattered. As they drove to Maria's clinic, Lila's voice came from the back, soft but steady. Thank you, John. I thought I was gonna die in there. John turned, meeting her eyes. You're not dying. Not today. Not ever, if I can help it. Lila managed a small nod, her arms wrapped protectively around Emma. For the first time, she looked like she believed him. At the clinic, Maria worked fast, cleaning Lila's wounds and hooking her up to and for. Emma was wrapped in a warm blanket, her tiny cries growing stronger as Maria fed her a bottle. John stood guard at the door, the gun still in his waistband. He didn't trust that Rick wouldn't show up, or send someone else. You did good back there, Maria said as she worked. Most people would have walked away. John shook his head. Couldn't. Not after seeing her like that. Maria nodded, her eyes soft. You're a good man, John. But this isn't over. You know that, right? Yeah, John said, his jaw tight. I know. Lila spoke up, her voice stronger now. He'll come for me. He always does. Not this time, John said. We're gonna figure out a way to keep you safe. Both of you. Lila looked at him, her eyes filled with a mix of fear and hope. Why are you doing this? You don't even know me. John hesitated, then said, because I've got a daughter your age. If she was in trouble, I'd want someone to help her. That's all. Lila's eyes filled with tears. Thank you, she whispered. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything, John said. Just focus on getting better. For you and Emma. The night stretched on, the clinic quiet except for the hum of machines and Emma's soft coos. John stayed awake, watching the door, his mind turning over what came next. Rick was still out there, and men like him didn't let go easily. But John wasn't backing down. He'd made a promise to Lila, and he intended to keep it. As dawn broke, Maria stepped out of the room, wiping her hands on a towel. She's gonna be okay, she said. The baby, too. They are fighters. John let out a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. Good. That's real good. Maria put a hand on his shoulder. You're in deep now, John. You sure you're ready for what's coming? John looked back at Lila, who was sleeping now, Emma nestled against her. Yeah, he said. I'm ready. But deep down, he knew the horror was far from over. Rick would come, and when he did, John would be waiting.